Video opens on a quick, aggressive montage. A grimy hand hesitating on a rusty doorknob. A key turning in a lock, the mechanism shown in a grotesque, fleshy close-up. A door slamming shut, cutting to black. Voiceover. You feel it in your gut before you feel it in your head. It's that low-frequency hum of anxiety when you're standing on the edge of a choice. The new job. The new city. The confession you've been rehearsing in the mirror. Your life is a long, grimy hallway lined with unmarked doors, and you're frozen in the middle of it. This isn't indecision. Indecision is for choosing a brand of cereal. This is something deeper. A sickness in the marrow. We're going to call it threshold paralysis. It's the existential dread of the doorway. The fear that the person who walks through it won't be the same one who walked in. And by the end of this, you're not just going to understand that fear. You're going to learn how to use the door itself as a weapon against it. Title card flashes on screen. Aggressive, scratchy font. Normal Life Manifesto. Below it. What doors teach us about the fear of the unknown? You know the feeling. Of course you do. It's woven into the source code of being a self-aware bag of flesh and panic. You're staring at the send button on an email that could either get you everything you want or make you a permanent joke. Your thumb hovers over the screen, a millimeter of glass separating your current life from a completely new one. And you just hang there, suspended in a bubble of pure, uncut potential and terror. Or maybe it's simpler. You're driving to a party. You don't know many people. You pull up outside the house. You can hear the distorted thump of music, see the silhouettes moving behind the curtains. And you just sit there, in the driver's seat, engine off, keys in your hand. You tell yourself you're checking your phone. You tell yourself you're waiting for the right song on the radio to end. But you're not. You're a general planning a war. You're running simulations. What if I say the wrong thing? What if nobody talks to me? What if I walk in and everyone stops and stares? You are trying to solve the beautiful, chaotic equation of human interaction from the sterile safety of your car, and it is killing you. This is threshold paralysis. It's the sensation of being caught between two worlds. The world you know, the safe, predictable, slightly disappointing room you're currently in, and the infinite, terrifying possibilities of the room you have yet to enter. The internal feeling is a quiet riot. It's a physical state. Your breath gets shallow. Your stomach clenches up like a fist. There's a buzzing behind your eyes, the sound of a million alternate timelines all screaming for attention. It's the feeling of your own past waging a guerrilla war against your future. Your comfort zone deploys its defenses. It whispers sweet, poisonous little nothings in your ear. It's not so bad in here. What if what's out there is worse? Maybe tomorrow. You'll be stronger tomorrow. But here's the hidden cost. The part that the self-help gurus with their bright white teeth never tell you about. It's not about the missed opportunities. It's not about the job you didn't take or the person you didn't kiss. The real damage is more subtle, more corrosive. Every time you flinch, every time you choose the safety of the hallway over the uncertainty of the room, you feed a parasite. A tiny, cowering creature that lives inside you. And with every meal, it gets a little bigger. A little stronger. Eventually, it's not a parasite anymore. It's the one driving. It rewires your instincts. It teaches you to interpret the thrum of anxiety not as a signal of approaching growth, but as a legitimate fire alarm. It convinces you that the smell of smoke is the same as the feeling of being on fire. And so you start to shrink your world, one closed door at a time. You build your own prison and call it a safe space. The paralysis becomes your personality. You are no longer a person who is afraid to open doors. You are a person who lives in a single, sealed room. And the most tragic part? You've forgotten that you're the one holding the key. Not a philosopher in an ivory tower or a psychologist with a leather couch. We need something more honest. More brutal. Something that has existed as long as we've had the concept of inside and outside. Our teacher is the door itself. A monument to the most fundamental division in the universe, the known and the unknown. Here and there. Now and next. The door doesn't care about you. It has no agenda. It feels no malice. It offers no promises. It simply is. It is a physical manifestation of a decision point. And by studying its cold, hard truths, we can dismantle the paralysis it triggers in us. Once you walk through a door, you can never truly unwalk through it. You can, of course, turn around and go back into the room you just left. But you are not the same person. You are now the person who has seen what's on the other side. That knowledge, that experience, is branded onto your soul. It's a psychic tattoo. You can't erase it. When you leave your childhood home for the last time, you can always visit again. But you will never again be the child who lived there. You will be a visitor. The threshold you crossed was permanent. When you say, "I love you," for the first time, the silence that existed before those words is gone forever. You have stepped into a new room, and the door has locked behind you. This finality is what terrifies us. We want an undo button for life. We want to live in a state of quantum superposition, to be both the person who stayed and the person who left. But the door is a cruel god. It demands a sacrifice. To gain a new identity, you must burn the old one. Threshold paralysis is the desperate, futile attempt to negotiate with this law of physics. It's screaming at the hurricane, begging it to be a breeze. It will never work. The first step to freedom is to accept this brutal irreversibility. To understand that every choice is a death, and every death is a birth. Second, is the principle of neutrality. We see a closed door, and we project our own psychodrama onto it. If we are hopeful, the door is an opportunity. If we are terrified, the door is a threat. If we are trapped, the door is an escape. We paint its blank face with our own emotions. But the door is neutral. A door leading to $1 million and a door leading to a firing squad are, mechanically, the same. They are identical in their function. They delineate space. You're not afraid of what is on the other side. You are afraid of what you imagine is on the other side. Your fear is a story you are telling yourself, and you have cast the door as the villain. It's just a door. It is not your judge. It is not your executioner. It is a piece of architecture. By draining it of its symbolic power, you reclaim that power for yourself. And third, we have the principle of the present moment. Where are you, when you are frozen at a threshold? You're not in your body. You're not in the present. Your mind is fractured. One part of it is in the past, cataloging every previous failure, every wrong turn, every scraped knee. It's building a case file against you, arguing that you're not equipped to handle what's next. The other part of your mind is in the future. It's a fantasy novelist, writing elaborate, multi-volume epics of catastrophic failure. It's scripting conversations that will never happen, feeling the sting of insults that will never be said, mourning losses that have not yet occurred. You are living simultaneously in a graveyard of memory and a nightmare of imagination. And neither of them is real. The only thing that's real is the threshold itself. The cool, smooth metal of the doorknob under your sweaty palm. The weight of your body on the floorboards. The sound of your own breathing. The past is a ghost. The future is a vapor. The only point of power you have is in the here and now. The choice. The action. The purpose of the door is to force you into the present. It is a focusing lens for the scattered energy of your anxiety. It is a Zen master, whacking you with a stick, screaming, "Be here." Now, the entire universe, in that moment, shrinks to the space between your hand and the knob. The power isn't in what lies beyond. The power is in the act of turning. The act of stepping. The act of becoming. So what does this all mean? The metaphor is simple, and it is savage. A door is a guillotine for the timeline. Before you open it, an infinite number of potential yous exist. There's the you who gets the job, the you who gets rejected. The you who finds love, the you who finds heartbreak. The you who lives, the you who dies. All of these ghost selves are alive, shimmering possibilities in the quantum foam of your future. Threshold paralysis is the love of these ghosts. You don't want to kill any of them. You want to keep all your options open, forever. You want to keep all the potential versions of yourself on life support. But the moment you turn the knob and step through it, chop, the blade falls. 1,000 million potential futures are severed, bleeding out onto the floor. You are left with one. The actual. The real. We are terrified of being the executioner of our own potential. But a life lived in love with ghosts is no life at all. This is the philosophy. Now, for the practice. Because philosophy without action is just mental masturbation. It feels good for a minute, but nothing gets created. This is your practical, field-tested guide to dismantling threshold paralysis. This is how you learn to turn the knob. There are 4 steps. You must treat them like a ritual. A pre-flight checklist before you take off into the unknown. Step 1. Name the ghost. When the paralysis hits, that cold dread, that buzzing skull, stop. Do not try to fight it. Do not try to reason with it. Just stop. And then, you must give the fear a name. A specific name. I'm scared is useless. It's a fog. It has no edges. You can't fight a fog. You need to give it a face. You need to turn it into something you can look in the eye. Don't say, I'm scared of the job interview. Say, I am scared that the interviewer will ask me a question I don't know the answer to, and I will sit there in silence, and she will get a smug look on her face, and I will feel like a stupid child. Don't say, I'm scared to go to the party. Say, I am scared that I will walk into the kitchen, and everyone will be in a tight circle, and I won't know how to break in, and I'll just stand by the wall pretending to look at my phone for 20 minutes before leaving in shame. Be specific. Be brutal. Write it down if you have to. Describe the monster in excruciating detail. What does it look like? What does it smell like? What is the exact brand of humiliation it's promising you? Something magical happens when you do this. The formless, all-powerful dread collapses into a concrete, and often slightly ridiculous, problem. A problem you can actually solve. If you're afraid of not knowing an answer, you can prepare some talking points. If you're afraid of standing alone, you can text a friend beforehand and ask them to meet you at the door. You drag the ghost out of the ethereal plane and into the mundane world. And in the mundane world, you have power. You can't fight a specter, but you can sure as hell punch a bully in the nose. Step 2. Embrace the funeral. This is about honoring the principle of irreversibility. Every time you choose to walk through a door, you're choosing to kill the version of yourself that stayed behind. And that deserves a moment of recognition. Before you cross the threshold, take 10 seconds and hold a tiny funeral for the you that you are leaving behind. If you're about to quit your soul-crushing but stable job, thank the version of you that endured it. Thank him for paying the rent. Thank him for his reliability, his caution. Acknowledge the comfort and security he provided. He got you this far. He served his purpose. And now, his watch has ended. Let him go. This isn't about being morbid. By holding a funeral, you are making a clean break. You are acknowledging the sacrifice. You are making the act of stepping forward a conscious, deliberate choice, not a panicked, flailing escape. It's a declaration. What I am moving toward is worth more than what I am leaving behind. Step 3. The 5-second turn. Sometimes, analysis and ritual aren't enough. The fear is too primal, too loud. Your rational mind is offline. In these moments, you need to engage in an act of benevolent self-violence. You need to hijack the system. This is the 5-second turn. It is brute force, and it works. The moment you feel the paralysis locking up your joints, you start a countdown. Out loud. 5. You take a breath. 4. You plant your feet. 3. You look at the doorknob. 2. You raise your hand. 1. On 1, you turn it. You click send. You can correct your course once you're moving. You can't steer a parked car. The 5-second turn is a controlled demolition of your own hesitation. It is you, taking the controls back from the terrified animal in your lizard brain. Use it. It's a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Step 4. Catalog the scars. Your anxiety is a liar. It is a brilliant, persuasive, and utterly dishonest storyteller. Its favorite genre is horror. And its favorite protagonist is you. To fight it, you need evidence. You need to become a detective, building a case against its lies. Get a cheap notebook. Call it your door journal. Every time you face a significant threshold, before you cross it, write down what the ghost is telling you. Write down the specific, catastrophic fears from step 1. Then, cross the threshold. Live the consequences. And a day, a week, a month later, go back to that entry and write what actually happened. You are building a personal, empirical dataset of your own courage. What you will find is twofold. First, You will discover that 99% of your catastrophic fears are utter fiction. They don't happen. The interviewer didn't think you were a child. You didn't stand by the wall all night. Your brain is a terrible prophet. Seeing this, written in your own hand, page after page, is a powerful antidote to its poison. Second, and this is the crucial part, you will find that on the rare occasions when things did go wrong, you survive. Maybe the interview went badly. Maybe the party was awkward. So what? You're still here. You took the hit. And now you have a scar. Scars are not signs of failure. Scars are proof of life. They are receipts for lessons learned. They are topographic maps of your own resilience. Your door journal becomes a catalog of these scars. It is your personal Bible of survival. And the next time the paralysis hits, the next time the ghost whispers its lies, you can open the book and show it the evidence. You can say, I've heard this story before. And I know how it really ends. You want proof that this works? You are the proof. Your very existence is the evidence. Think about the most important moments of your life. Your life is a story told in a sequence of rooms, and the doors are the transitions that give it meaning. You've been crossing thresholds your entire life. You've just forgotten that you know how. This isn't just some punk rock poetry. It's a fundamental aspect of the human experience, something we've been trying to understand for millennia. The ancient Romans had a god for it. Janus. The god of gates, doorways, beginnings, and endings. He was always depicted with two faces, one looking to the past, the other to the future. He was the threshold. He was the embodiment of that moment of paralysis and potential. The Romans knew that this transition was so powerful, so terrifying, and so sacred that it deserved its own deity. In the 20th century, anthropologists gave it a new name, liminality. It comes from the Latin word limen, meaning a threshold. A liminal space is a transitional space, an airport terminal, a waiting room, a hallway, and a doorway. It's a place where you are neither what you were, nor what you will become. You are in between. This is where real transformation happens. It's a dangerous, unstable, and powerful state of being. Your fear of the door is a deep, instinctual fear of this liminal chaos. Your brain is screaming for the safety of a defined identity, a known set of rules. But growth is impossible without dissolving the old rules first. The logic is undeniable. A static object is stable, but it is not alive. Life is movement. Growth is, by its very definition, the process of moving from a known state to an unknown one. Therefore, the consistent avoidance of the unknown is the consistent avoidance of life itself. That feeling of fear, that threshold paralysis? It's not a bug. It is a landmark, indicating a site of potential growth. Your paralysis is you wrestling with your own internal guidance system, trying to convince yourself that south is north. Stop fighting. Start walking. Look around you. Right now. Wherever you are. There's a door. Maybe it leads outside. Maybe to another room. Maybe it's just a closet. But for a moment, see it for what it is. A portal. A choice. A potential ending, and a potential beginning. In the comments, I want you to tell me about that door. What does it represent to you, in this exact moment of your life? Is it an escape you're not taking? An entrance you're afraid of? A barrier you've built? What was the last significant door you walked through? And what ghost, what potential version of yourself, did you have to execute to do it? Let's fill the comments with the stories of our thresholds. If you're tired of living in the hallway, if you're ready to start turning some goddamn knobs, then you belong here. Join the Manifesto. Subscribe. We have a lot more doors to kick open together. And once you're done, there's another threshold waiting for you. It leads to our video on the psychology of ruin, an exploration of why we are secretly, deeply attracted to images of decay and destruction. It's the perfect place to go when you've chosen a door, and the room on the other side is a wreck. And sometimes, it is. Click it. I'll see you on the other side.